So you're staring down the TPSC combined exam and it feels like a massive locked door, right? But what if I told you the key is hiding in plain sight, right inside the old exam papers? Well, today, we're not just studying, we're going to decode it. We're going to build a strategic blueprint based on real data so you can focus your energy exactly where it's going to count the most. Here's our game plan for today. First, we'll get the big picture, the overall exam blueprint. Then, we'll zoom right into the prelims and we'll really break down the general knowledge section to see its regional focus. After that, we'll pinpoint the best topics in polity and English, find the trends in quant and reasoning, and finally, we'll wrap it all up into your winning strategy. You know, every great strategy starts with understanding the battlefield, and the TPSC confined exam is definitely a multi-stage challenge. Knowing the structure isn't just important, it's the very first step to getting through it successfully. So what are these hurdles we're talking about? It's not just one big test. Nope. It's more like a journey through 3 totally different phases, and each one is designed to test a different set of your skills. Let's break them down. Okay, here's the breakdown. First up, you've got the preliminary exam. That's your 100-mark gatekeeper. Get past that and you're on to the main event, the main examination, which is a much bigger deal at 200 marks. The final step is the 50-mark interview. But for today, our entire focus is on that first, absolutely crucial step, cracking the prelim. So let's put the preliminary exam under the microscope. If you want to score well, you have to know exactly where every single one of those 100 marks is coming from, right? Knowledge is power. And this visual breakdown, well, it's about to give you a whole lot of it. And boom, this chart tells you everything. You can see the heavy hitters right away, can't you? General knowledge and English composition, both worth a full 20 marks. Together, that's 40% of your entire prelim score. Then you've got 4 other key sections, current affairs, polity, arithmetic, and reasoning, all weighed equally at 15 marks. This tells us that balance is key, for sure. But if you can absolutely nail GK and English, you're giving yourself a massive head start. All right, let's dig into that big 20-mark slice of the pie, general knowledge. The syllabus mentions a special reference to Tripura and the Northeast, but how special are we talking? Well, the past papers spill all the secrets, and honestly, this is a total game changer. This slide tells such a fascinating story. Look at this. In the first exam, questions about Tripura completely dominated. Then, in the second one, bam, the focus just exploded to cover the wider Northeast region. And yeah, while the third exam brought in more national topics, the Northeast and Tripura were still a huge deal. The takeaway here is crystal clear, folks. Your GK prep must have a strong regional focus. Let's take a closer look at that first exam. The questions were super specific to Tripura's history. You know, about its kings, the merger agreement, and its geography, like the Maitri Setu. Even key dates were popping up. This just goes to show you need that deep local knowledge. Then the second exam came along, and you can just see the shift. The lens widened to the entire Northeast region. We're talking about things like the Kachar Levy, the Siliguri Corridor, even the Agi Lamu folk dance. So yeah, Tripura's specific knowledge was still tested, but the Whig message was clear. You've got to understand the whole region. And in the most recent exam, there was another evolution. We started seeing more questions from outside the region on topics like world monuments and international days. But, and this is a big but, those crucial Northeast facts were still there. So the strategy becomes pretty clear. Build your foundation on Tripura and the NE, and then you can expand your knowledge outwards. All right, let's shift gears from GK. Let's talk about the sections where you can find the most predictable, high-scoring topics. We're going to zero in on polity and English, which, by the way, together account for a massive 35 marks. Okay, take a look at this data for polity. The syllabus kind of gives a little hint about one particular area, and wow, this table just screams it at you. Just run your eyes across the numbers for all 3 exams. See that one row? The one that just completely blows everything else out of the water? Yeah, you can't miss it. That's right. An average of 9 questions per exam have come from one single topic, Panchayat Raj and urban local bodies. Think about that. Out of 15 total marks, more than half are sitting right there. If there is one topic you need to absolutely master for the polity section, this is it. It's the closest thing you'll ever find to guaranteed points. Now let's apply that same logic to English. This is a 20-mark section. And again, the data reveals this incredible consistency. Just look at the patterns for comprehension, synonyms/antonyms, and prepositions across all 3 exams. They are remarkably stable. These are what I like to call the English constants.
I mean, think about it. Every single year, you can practically guarantee 4 questions from comprehension and 4 from synonyms/antonyms. That's 8 marks you can bank on before you even walk in the door. You add in the high frequency of prepositions and articles, and you've just identified the 4 pillars that will support your entire English score. This is where you focus.
All right, let's tackle the sections that can sometimes make people sweat a little: simple arithmetic and reasoning. But don't worry, even in the world of numbers and logic, the past papers reveal these clear, predictable patterns that we can totally use to our advantage. So here's the breakdown for simple arithmetic. At first glance, I know it looks like a lot of different topics, but if you track which ones appear most frequently, a handful of these hotspots start to emerge as the most important areas to practice. These right here are your high-frequency topics. Time, speed, and distance, ratio and proportion, and number system are consistently tested. Profit and loss and interest problems also make regular appearances. So the strategy becomes really simple. Prioritize your practice on these core concepts to build up your speed and accuracy. And now for reasoning. It's the same deal as with arithmetic. We're hunting for the topics that TPSC returns to again and again. Just let your eyes scan this table. It won't take you long to see which skills the examiners think are totally non-negotiable. And here they are. Blood relations, number and letter series, and direction have shown up in all 3 past exams. They are absolute must-knows. Add in calendar problems, which also pop up frequently, and you've just built a solid foundation to tackle the majority of the reasoning section. Okay, so we've crunched the numbers, we've decoded the patterns, we've seen exactly where this exam focuses its attention. Now for the best part. It's time to put it all together. Let's consolidate everything we've learned into one simple, powerful, and actionable strategy. This right here is your blueprint for success. Priority 1, become an expert on Panchayat Raj and polity. It's the single highest yield topic in the whole exam. Number 2, build your general knowledge base starting from Tripura and the Northeast. 3, lock down those guaranteed marks in English by mastering the core skills. And 4, just be relentless in practicing the recurring topics in quant and reasoning. We've laid out the path based on pure data. The code has been cracked. The map is in your hands. So the only question left is the one that matters most. You have the blueprint. What's your first move?